Hey everybody, welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to do a filter change on the Genesis EVO 500 filter. This morning I came down to the aquarium and noticed that it looked a little blurry, and I checked the filter paper and sure enough it needs to be changed. So I'm going to show you that right now. As you can see, the tube is down to the end and the filter paper is all the way on this side. So we need to do a change and put new filter paper in. To do the filter change, you should have a plastic tube, some type of stick so you can push the filter paper in, some filter paper for your filter, some paper towels, a bucket full of water with a rag, and a plastic bag. Okay, the first thing we want to do is open up the cover to our filter. I have Velcro on mine to hold it up, so it makes it easier to work on it so it doesn't fall down onto you. Next thing you want to do is remove the old tube. You pull up on the right side and then slide out, and that'll take out the filter holder. You take the end cap off, you can put it down on the ground, then pull the tube out. The tube you can just set to the side. You don't need that anymore. Next thing you want to do is remove the filter paper. How you do that is you want to turn the wheel, and this locks into place right here. What you want to do is squeeze on one side and pull it up, and then grasp it with both hands, and then you can pull it like this. It's pretty heavy because it's still wet, and you pull it out like so. Okay, you can put that down to the side, and there's two tube holders that you want to pull out of the tube. That goes into the plastic white tube that I showed you before. Right now we're going to put this aside so we can clean the inside of the filter. Okay, the first thing I like to do is get my bag and open it up, because that's where I'm going to put the paper towels that I use to wipe up the excess fish. That's what I use to wipe up the excess fish poop. So we take some paper towels and just fold them up a little bit, and then wipe up and try to scoop up the extra stuff that make sure it doesn't get into your filter. You can put that in the bag, get a little bit more. And then wipe it again. Then what you want to do is lift up this metal bar and do the same thing. Just wipe the bottom of it. Try to get as much of the excess food off as that you can. And then we can wipe these tubes down that are on top of the filter. Again, trying to get as much as you can off. And again on this other one. Okay, after I do that, I like to use the bucket of water and just try to clean up the inside of the filter before we put the new paper in. So we'll get our bucket and our rag, and we'll wring it out a little bit. We'll just see if we can clean these tubes off, and just try to get the filter as clean as you can before you put the new paper in. Another thing what you can do while you're here is pull this glass out and clean that up. And you can clean up the inside of the filter too. After you've done that, you can reinstall the glass with the Genesis logo facing out. First you'll have to unwrap the plastic from the filter paper. The filter paper that I'm using is the EVO Flow 500L. You want to position the paper so the flap is facing the filter housing, so like so. You take this tube and insert it from the other side, and then take the other side and put it inside like so. Then you put the left side in first. Then you push in on the spring actuated holder and push it in like so, so it's like this. Next thing you do is peel the tape off. Okay, after you do that, you can look at the diagram to see how the filter paper goes through the machine. It goes over both rails, goes around the big tube, and then under and back over. That should be a little sticker inside your cover. Okay, next thing I do is pull a little bit of paper out and put it down over that first roll. And that's where that little stick comes into play. I use this stick to push the filter paper into the housing so I can rotate it around. You don't need to push hard, you just want to get a little bit of paper in each spot so you can rotate it around and retrieve it on the other side. Don't worry if it's not quite level, you can fix that on the other end when it comes up. So you want to make sure you lift up this flap like so. And as you're rotating the barrel around, you want to make sure that you're feeding the paper down to let it come around freely. So we'll get it started. And as you can see, I'm rotating the barrel with one hand and pushing the paper with the other hand. Okay, you should see the paper come up the other side, and you want to rotate it until it's underneath the black tube. And then reach down and pull it up. This is where you can level the paper so it covers the whole barrel. If there's any holes, the filter paper won't work properly and water will escape through and it won't wind itself. So you pull it up just a little bit, like so, and just rest it down. The next step you want to do is to put that metal flap down and then install your tube to roll the paper. So we have these two pieces here, and those go into the white tube before you put the tube in. You put the flat one with no notches on the left side, and the one that has the notches is the right side. To install it, put the left side in first with the hole facing up so you can put paper inside. And then you just gently push and line it up with your holes. And it locks into place. Next step is you take the filter paper and put a little bit into the hole on the other side. Okay? And then after it's in there a little bit, you want to push in to release the lock and turn at the same time. And what that does is wind it, so when the filter paper winds, you can advance the paper. You make sure it's all level, and you give it a quick look, and that's it. That is how you change the filter paper on a Genesis filter. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe, and I do a feeding time episode about once a week. You can watch me feed my fish. Thanks. Have a good day.